The views and opinions expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Nash Community College, the Board of Trustees of Nash Community College, or the North Carolina Community College system.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
And that's why my toes just never really recovered. But guys, how you doing? This is Big Bang Cinema. I'm Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
And this is the movie show where we talk about movie news, movie reviews.
And everything in between.
Yeah, I guess that's the in-between, man. Yeah.
Wait, what did you say, in between, man?
In between my toes, but we talked about those earlier. I don't want to hear about that. But on the other side of the camera, we have a man with the two occupations and the man with an amazing haircut, beard, and semi-great mustache,
And a
Hunter
gun.
Baker.
The man's got a gun.
Yes. And he's pretty, well, we'll get to the Nerf gun later. And on the other side, we have...
We got Chris.
We got Mr. Christopher Darkins with a big beard. I have the weakest facial hair out of all of us, don't I?
It's just
Like, if I grow mine out, I don't imagine they let me on school campus anymore because I don't look like I'm allowed
You
to.
keep the injections up, it'll grow out.
You have the weakest facial hair because it's not there.
Chris, don't make fun, okay? That's insensitive.
Now, I'm going to have to jump in here.
Okay, why don't you jump in, my friend?
Now, the reason me and Mr. Chris here have these amazing Nerf guns is today during the show, we're going to be listening for Tyler and Isaac to say a certain word and or phrase. And once we hear that phrase, we're going to light them up.
I'm pretty sure in some countries that word can get you arrested. So...
we got one more person. We got a cameraman named Juan. Say hello, Juan.
Nobody can see Juan, though.
Yeah, but
Juan's over there in the background.
Say something, Juan.
Yeah.
There's Juan.
He's a little. He's in the corner, and we thank him. But speaking about in the corner and not saying anything, Dr. Doolittle is getting a reboot that we talked about a little earlier in the year. And guess what? Mr. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be starring in it, and they announced the whole cast. That's not the whole cast.
I am excited for this film.
This is the old one. This is Mr. Dr. Doolittle. The last one. This is the last one I know of. Mr. Eddie Murphy.
I heard it's.
My goodness. Okay, I got to figure out what I just said. Okay.
Now, in case anyone was wondering, the word today was Eddie Murphy.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Yes.
Woo, because I say that like 10 times on a daily basis.
Dang, man. You guys played dirty. Okay.
Are we changing the word over or are we going to keep it?
I think the word's gone now.
No,
the word's done.
Oh, we can make another phrase.
Make a new word.
Yeah, y'all just keep talking and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You're just going to make it up. Okay, so it looks like all the big Disney friends are all in it. We got Mr. Tom Holland as Jip, which is going to be playing a dog.
I have heard is that this is a remake of the original Dr. Doolittle, the one with Rex Harrison. Rex Harrison.
You're doing a rare thing that every word you're saying is going through a background check.
Exactly. I very rarely filter my words.
Okay, this is...
So I'm going to start now.
Okay, let's get a little bit more relaxed now. Okay, for real.
This is really hard thinking about what I'm saying before I say it.
You're like Scott Eastwood acting right now. Come on. Okay, so John Cena's going to be playing a polar bear. Yeah, I mean, just besides what they're playing, what do you think of the cast?
Who's playing Dr. Doolittle?
That guy.
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
Cool, I think he'll do a good job.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Anyway, what do you think of the casting?
I like the cast.
Okay, talk normal. Talk normal. Talk normal.
I am excited for this film. I'm digging this cast because it's got Craig Robertson in it, and he's funny, and I think it's funny. And we're speaking of funny.
Oh, we're not done yet.
We're done with this, sir.
We don't have a word right now, I swear.
Oh. All right.
I don't believe that. Okay. I guess we go ahead and move on with it. Yeah. So, this one you actually brought up to me in some sort of way, form, or fashion.
Yeah, Dr. Doolittle reboot.
We just talked about that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You just told us to move on.
No, I thought you said we're not moving on.
No, well, yes, we're moving on.
Okay,
now.
we'll move on. Next up, we're talking about the X-Men.
Well, not really the X-Men. We're talking about the movies Dark Phoenix
Dark
and the New
Phoenix.
Mutants getting delayed by Fox.
Oh yeah, it's not good. I heard they're refilming 50% of that film too.
Well, the news on it is that Dark Phoenix had to do a bunch of reshoots, and a bunch of the casting couldn't really get together in time, and it wasn't going to be enough time to get the visual effects, because it's a great it's a great thing to do for your movie, to do like a bunch of speeded reshoots at the very end and then try to fix everything in visual effects. That always works. They said they weren't going to get out in time, and it wasn't going to be the best they could be, so they're going to delay it a little more. Normal. It's completely normal for a movie. New Mutants did not test well. They said it was, quote, not scary enough. So I think that's probably just going to be in the dumpster for like another 3 or 4 years and probably dump on Netflix.
My question is, why are they trying to make it scary?
Because that's what people wanted. I guess people saw it at the test screenings like it's just not scary enough. Which, I mean, who cares if it's good? I mean...
It's an X-Men movie.
I mean, who cares? I mean, maybe they're just going for a different tone. And maybe they just didn't achieve it. I don't know. Do you think this is going to be like something we see in the theaters? Do you think this is going to be a Netflix dump?
I'll say it's going to be a Netflix dump.
I think it's going to be a Netflix dump too, man. Well, why do you think it's going to be a Netflix dump?
Because they're keep moving it, touching it, moving it around, refilming, reshooting. And eventually going to dump it.
And if an uncle does that, he'll get arrested. But I mean, it's I mean, hey, if my uncle messes with my movies, I'm not going to like that. Okay, my uncle doesn't have any business being in the movie industry. But continue.
Oh, I thought you should talk about your uncle right now.
Well, but continue. It's a joke.
You sure?
It's not.
Are you all right?
Okay.
What's that you talk about?
Just,
Psychiatrist wise?
no, just keep talking about the New Mutants.
New Mutants. It's probably not going to happen. I say it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You just don't think it's ever going to get released?
I don't think it's ever going to get. It's going to be like the first Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, like the Roger Corman one?
Yes, sir.
I don't know about all that. I think that eventually we're going to see this in some form or fashion.
Fashion.
I really don't know how exactly it's going to get out there. Maybe they'll put it out in theaters and they'll just like get rid of it in 2 weeks and then dump it on Netflix, or just straight on Netflix because they're not very happy with it. Maybe it's not too good, but I don't know. You can't always trust test screenings because all these think tanks and the test screenings.
Because they told me Silver Lining Playbook was really good.
Well, I mean, that's a David O. Russell film. That's kind of give or take. But I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Are you going to shoot us?
I don't think they're going to shoot us.
I've always liked X-Men. Like, even the worst movies are still kind of like fun just because they're X-Men. Like, they're not good as cinema, but I don't know. I've just always enjoyed them.
Yeah, Chris?
I'm kind of the same way as Hunter.
What's your favorite X-Men movie?
Wolverine.
Mine is...
actually, Logan.
To Wong Fu.
Yeah, but that's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Mine's To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything. That's my favorite X-Men movie. Yours
Wait,
probably
what?
The Danish Girl. What's your favorite X-Men movie?
Well, I guess Logan's more of its own thing, so I'd say X2.
I think he's getting it. I think he knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
He does what
are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I said the favorite X-Men movie. I said mine was To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, and I said yours probably going to be The Danish Girl.
Oh.
You get it?
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
How clever you are for putting the X into an EX.
Yeah.
How clever, buddy.
X-Men. Ho ho ho.
Ooh, and that's how Tyler never got a job in Hollywood. But anyway, speaking about never getting a job in Hollywood, Josh Trank is going to be directing a movie about Al Capone.
Josh Trank is back. I thought he had died. Well, career-wise.
His career died, and we'll get to that. But he's directing a movie called Fonzo, and it's starring...
It's not about Arthur Fonzarelli, is it?
It's about Tom Hardy is going to be playing Al Capone.
Oh, so this has nothing to do with...
Well, this is his picture. This is the big thing. Which he definitely looks the part. I mean,
so this has nothing to do with Happy Days?
Nothing to do with Happy Days.
I was thinking about Fonzie. Never mind. Fonzie.
Yeah, like the not A. It's more like A. It's that one.
I heard the same thing, man.
Well,
I didn't notice any difference.
I'm
excited for it because I want to see this movie's probably gonna be really bad. If it does really bad, I want to see if Tranks it 2 times in a row and be like deuce.
Well,
And if you don't know out there, tranking is when a director goes and bashes his own film before the movie even comes out.
That is true. And in case you don't know what it is, Josh Trank actually like had the Fantastic Four thing, and he just totally trashed it. But like just what you
On
said.
Twitter.
I mean,
He got on Twitter. He
but
said,
more specifically, it was the Fantastic Four movie.
Do you think he's going to trash this film?
I don't think so. I think he's going to be pretty proud of this one. I don't know.
Hope so.
Well, he also directed Chronicle, which most people would know. That's what he's most known
You
for.
talking about the white people, Akira?
Sure, but he's very known for kind of that distinctive style and the science fiction kind of elements in a real world today. And I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to handle a period piece. Like I've never seen him do anything like that. Granted, he's only done 2 films. One of them's great and one of them's not. But yeah, it's a change up for him. Hunter, you know who Josh Trank is, and are you excited to see him do an Al Capone film?
Have you seen Chronicle? Is it just like Akira?
I'm excited.
Okay. No, for real, do you have any more?
No, I don't know who that director is, and I've never seen any of those other films.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Just
Just like my
Chris.
dating life.
Well, I aim to disappoint.
But,
He also aimed to kill, too.
yeah, he does.
Well, I
kill all my
don't
future
know the
children.
director, but I'm excited to see what could potentially be done with a movie about Al Capone.
You know who Al Capone is?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
All right.
The rapper that from Detroit.
Yeah, he's from Detroit.
No.
Al Capone.
Yeah, he's like, you know that what's that famous song he has?
Booty Booty Butt Cheeks.
I don't think that's it. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I'm excited to see him do a period
Yeah,
piece
he's
like
one of
this.
the
I'm
most
curious to
famous
see how the
lobsters,
tone
yeah.
is going to be. I'm curious to see how he's going to be working with like in Hollywood after kind of like that whole fiasco with him being hard to work with because apparently he got drunk on set all the time and he flipping tables and whatnot.
Flipping tables.
I just hope that he kind of gets his vision.
Oh, our facts are rolling in now.
No, like this isn't a fact about this, but it's just something interesting about Al Capone. There was a con man named Victor Lustig. He was infamous because he sold the Eiffel Tower to steel companies twice. But well, that was anyway. That doesn't matter. That's another thing he did. But he one time got Al Capone to loan him $50,000 to invest, and he said it was going to pay out big. And then about a month later, he paid him the $50,000 back and said the deal had fallen through. Well, he just wanted Al Capone's trust. Like he never actually invested the $50,000. He just wanted to see if Al Capone would give it to him. And afterwards, Al Capone said he was the most honest man he'd ever met.
Oh,
But con man, just to see if he could get Al Capone to give him $50,000.
that's
Conned
dirty.
Al
That's kind of
Capone.
neat though.
Yeah, so no matter how bad you are, there's somebody who will.
I'm just curious to
You
see
can
what
be
they're
a
going to
step
do with
ahead
this,
of you,
like
you
with the
know?
whole story of it. I don't know if it's just going to be a big dumb action movie or is it trying to like delve deep into his character. But
Will it be a comedy film?
I hope not.
I hope they go back and have all the other actors being children like that Bugsy Malone movie.
Speaking about Bugsy Malone, Lord and Miller, the original directors from Han Solo, a Star Wars Story, a Disney property by Disney.
Disney.
They're not going to be getting director's credits on the Han Solo
I
movie.
imagine not, because I heard they went back and redid almost everything they did.
Pretty much everything, yeah.
Ron Howard is getting those director's credits.
So, in case you haven't followed with it, these guys directed pretty much most of the film, and their direction wasn't quite up to snuff what they wanted. So they got fired or left the project for creative differences. Got fired, but they replaced them with Ron Howard. Ron Howard reshot 80/90% of the movie, probably the whole thing.
90.
They reshot pretty much the whole entire film again. So,
And they made the guy go take acting lessons.
we're gonna get to that. But
Oh, we're going to get into that.
what
All right.
what do you think? Do you think they deserve director's credits?
They deserve 10% of the directing credits.
Okay.
Like put a little name like also directed by and a little tiny name in the corner. Like it's like the fine print when you sign for a Apple merchandise.
Well, how much does that hurt though? That you pour your heart and soul out into something for like months and years.
I imagine it'd be like on Monsters when they showed the front of the newspaper thing and the front of the logo, and it was the eye was covering over
What?
what's his name, Mike. He was just kind of there but not really there. Just kind of like I think that's how it's going to feel. Like we did some of this, but we weren't really there for the credit wise.
I think I can see it. I don't know. I wasn't following you for a second.
It's like they get 10% of the directing credits. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
describe.
like it's like a tithing thing.
I'm trying to imagine we do a big photo op for this, but the whole logo is right over you. We just see your feet hanging off the bottom of the logo.
I think that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like they do need some sort of credit because they did work a lot on this, even though it wasn't exactly up to snuff of what it was.
I would sue.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd sue because I mean they got fired. I mean, and they reshot the whole entire film. Ron Howard does direct, did direct this movie, so he needs director's credit. But Lord and Miller still their shots are in there, man.
Shots.
Maybe they'll be credited as like a first, like assistant director or like second unit director.
How about assistant executive director?
I don't think that's a thing.
It is now, sir.
Yeah,
It
but
is
also
now.
People kind of came out. Well, like a source came out and said that. It wasn't just that they were doing the wrong tone for it. It said that I don't think they could handle the production of it, like the production size of it. The scope was just a little bit too much for them to handle, and they just had to have people come in and help them direct scenes and try to get everything right because it was just a little bit too much for them. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's at least what I heard, and it seems very plausible. And they also said the Alden Eric and Rick, whatever his name is, the guy that's playing Han Solo. The acting lessons are totally true. And that stuff definitely happened. And he's like, he tried. He's like, he's not a bad actor. He just wasn't good enough, which makes me apprehensive to see this movie. So, you guys have anything to add? Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
I didn't know Donald Glover was in this film.
How did you not know he was in this film? We talk about it like every other week.
Guess who he's playing? Lando Calrissian. Oh!
I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I saw it coming, and it was great. You fell for it, man. I saw it in his eyes.
I got to say Lando Calrissian.
I saw it in his eyes. Oh my goodness. Oh, guys.
The secret phrase was Lando.
Oh.
I like that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. Oh, there it is. And, we would love to hear your comments.
Shoot him, he said it. He said comments, shoot him. That was my
Well,
magic word. That was my word,
No
shoot
one
him.
can get in here. No one can get in here.
Shoot
If
him.
they did, it would be like
That's
drifting
not how
with
this
a kaiju.
works. You don't run the show anymore.
Yeah. And he's cocked and loaded, so we better go to a break. Guys, when we come back, we got a really fun segment with DJ Joey D, formerly here from Big Bang Radio, talking about Wes Anderson. So please stay with us. I'll be right back.
Want to earn college credits while still enjoying your summer? Nash Community College offers courses and degrees entirely online. Whether you're entering a university as a freshman or you're already there, get your required courses out of the way with Nash Online. Take university transferable math, English, psychology, sciences, and more for half the cost. Save time, save money, and experience online service like none other. Now enrolling for summer, visit nashcc.edu/online to reserve your spot.
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
Wow, that girl at the end looked a lot like the other girl in the other commercial. But guys, how are you doing? This is Isaac Anderson, and this is Big Bang Cinema.
Yeah, this is totally Big Bang Cinema.
What's your name? Fail. Shoot him.
No.
Shoot him. No. Okay. Guys, Isle of Dogs came out this week, and unfortunately I haven't got to see it yet, and we saw another movie that wasn't nearly as good, or at least I think
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic.
Good this week, and you'll hear that in Quick Flicks. But that brings back a discussion. Mr. Wes Anderson, all of his filmography is so interesting and so distinct. We filmed a little segment with a former DJ here. His name is Joey D. He hosts a podcast called Paper Thin, talking about books and whatnot. So if you guys want to go ahead and watch it, enjoy. Hey guys, Isaac here, and today I have a very special guest. He is the host of the podcast Paper Thin, DJ Joey D.
Turn the audio on.
Here
I'm doing well,
our
man.
green screen
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and we're here to talk about your favorite director, and one that sometimes I don't understand, Wes Anderson.
Absolutely.
For the people that don't know, who is Wes Anderson?
Wes Anderson is one of the greatest directors of my lifetime.
you
He's
talking
done
Wes
such
Anderson?
great films like The Royal Tenenbaums, Darjeeling Limited, Grand Budapest Hotel. Probably for those of you who still don't know who I'm talking about, The Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I think it's the one
so
most
that's
people
probably
know, yeah.
that probably you'll remember.
He's a very distinct style of director in the sense that like all his movies are distinctively him.
Well, he's using the same cinematographer.
Yeah, he's done most of his movies, right?
All of them since Bottle Rocket. So they kind of know how each other work.
Before we go any further, what is the first Wes Anderson film you watched?
The first Wes Anderson film I watched was Royal Tenenbaums. I was way too young to get it. I have an older brother, and he was really into like artsy things. Didn't understand any of it, but I wasn't sure why I thought it was funny. And then, you know, I'm 29 now, and I'm like, oh, it most certainly was very funny. So,
yeah, and that's one of those movies you really gotta be like, you gotta know.
yeah, absolutely.
You gotta know.
Can't somebody be a jerk their whole life and try to repair the damage?
You probably don't even know my middle name.
That's a trick question. You don't have one.
Helen.
I think my first Wes Anderson film, I came to the game a little bit later. I think I was in my teen years before I ever even knew who Wes Anderson really was. I saw Moonrise Kingdom on TV. I remember seeing that, and I was wondering, like, this is one of the weirdest feeling films I've ever seen. The way the characters acted, the colors and everything, it just looked like a hipster dream, like it to me. But then I watched it. I'm like, this movie is like, it was actually really compelling. I was really into the story.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of cool. We've talked about some of the movies that we kind of got introduced to him by. What's some other movies that he's done that you're kind of big fans of? Not your favorites, but like just some other ones that you kind of.
So Darjeeling Limited. I was a senior in high school when that movie came out. I saw it in theater. Probably the last one I saw was actually Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh yeah?
Which, yeah, I never watched it. It is very funny, but because it's the only Wes Anderson film that is not written by Wes Anderson. It's Roald Dahl, the British writer. You know, he's just copying that story. One that gets like underappreciated, I think, is Rushmore. And without Rushmore, I don't think Wes Anderson would still be making movies. It was a chance. Some executives liked him at MTV. Bill Murray does one of his best roles in a Wes Anderson movie. In that movie, if there was no Rushmore, there'd be no Royal Tenenbaums. And Royal Tenenbaums is when he kind of got like renowned.
Done. Good, very good. My goodness, how interesting, how bizarre.
Bill Murray kind of went through his film all throughout his career after that now, yeah.
Basically, yeah, he's been in I think all of them.
The most probably iconic one he's ever done is probably Life Aquatic. When people think of like Wes Anderson and Bill Murray, they probably think Life Aquatic.
Well, because that was the one where, you know, it's kind of all on the shoulders of Bill Murray to carry kind of like the film, and it is my favorite.
I want you on Team Zissou.
The answer's yes.
Well, it's got to be. I'm already a red cap and a Speedo.
Like we were talking a little bit before we started filming that like Wes Anderson movies feel a lot like they were based on a French book I never read.
Yeah, absolutely. And these characters can't be real. Like,
No.
These aren't real people. And if you ever, you know, I think that's what turns some people off to Wes Anderson is there's these really kind of quirky characters that can't possibly be real, but you know, you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's a story. Just it's one of the reasons I love it.
Swamp leeches, everybody! Check for swamp leeches and pull them off. Nobody else got hit? I'm the only one? What's the deal?
Just kind of like the stories and themes in his movies, they revolve a lot around people failing at things.
Yeah, and death. Death is a major one, which it took me a while to realize, like, oh my, does every film have a character that has died recently or is talking about, like, Royal Tenenbaums, like, oh, I'm gonna die. That's how he brings his family back together, even though he's faking.
And then Owen Wilson runs over the dog.
Owen Wilson runs over the dog. In Darjeeling Limited, their father died, and that's what brings them together, and to go on this adventure to India. And Life Aquatic, Esteban. In the beginning of the film, you find out Steve Zissou's best friend just died. So like, there's death. And but I've never left a Wes Anderson movie being like, man, that was a really sad movie about death, but yet it's like a major theme.
Yeah, a lot of his movies also kind of revolve around, I kind of have written down over here, a lot of like a sadness and kind of like broken families.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of broken families in his movies.
Which is kind of, that's real. I mean, broken families is real. It's something that everyone knows someone, or they come from broken families, and it's relatable.
Yeah, it is, and that's what draws it. Like, it's enough real in there to kind of ground you and like the reality he set, but enough weird stuff in there where you're not like completely disconnected to like, oh, I don't care what happens, and I know like nothing matters. Like, you care what happens to these characters because they act somewhat in a way that like you can believe this character would act in this world, but like they're not so out there where it's just like, well, this is so weird where, like it's so kooky where like nothing matters and there's no rules.
And you still kind of root for terrible people.
Yeah.
That's another thing about it. Like Matt Fisher in Rushmore is really kind of a terrible person. Like he goes on this war basically with Bill Murray's character over because he's in love with this first grade teacher at his school. And he does all these terrible things, puts bees in his car, and does the guy's having this terrible divorce happening in the background, and he's just doing all this stuff to ruin his life. But in the end, you're still rooting for Max.
Yeah, I know.
How do you do that? How do you go from being this terrible person to being someone that you want to root for? I don't know another director that can do that, or actors really. This group of actors that he's surrounded himself with, they know each other so well, and they do a great job.
But yeah, guys, that's our discussion on Wes Anderson. Yeah, Joey D, thank you so much. How can people find you?
I have a podcast called Paper Thin where I talk about books, and yeah, there should be some new episodes coming out soon, very, very soon. So, but anyway, just keep listening to Big Bang Radio. I'm so happy to be back. I used to do a show here, and thanks for having me.
No problem, man.
Fun.
Thank you so much for
showing up. I'd like to
up.
come back sometime.
Please do. Be on the regular show. Wait until you get to see Tyler Keene, man.
Okay.
I've
seen him.
You've seen Tyler Keene.
I've seen him. Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Joey D, for doing that segment with me.
Joey D was in the house.
It was. I hate you couldn't be there. You were working.
No, I had no idea. You came out later and said I videotaped the sketch. I'm like, what sketch?
That is not true. But yeah, guys, Joey, if you're watching, we'd love to have you back on the live show, and maybe do another segment with you. And guys, I love you. I'll see you later. What the world? I'm Isaac Anderson. That's Tyler Keene. Bye. Stay lovely.
Stay classy.